Tonight, legendary golfer Phil Mickelson banned from his longtime club amid allegations of misconduct.
For 6 major championships and 30 years, Phil Mickelson was golf's golden boy. He was the guy who signed every last autograph. The man Augusta adored almost as much as it adored its own azaleas. And this spring, in a matter of days, a huge piece of that image came apart at a private club outside San Diego. Here's what actually happened, according to the reporting that broke this story wide open. Golf Digest, citing multiple sources close to the situation, reported that Mickelson was accused by a female employee at the Farms Golf Club in Rancho Santa Fe of making nonconsensual and inappropriate physical contact with her before a round of golf this spring. According to that reporting, the employee turned him down, and once he'd gone back out to play, she told her supervisors what had happened. The club didn't sit on it. Officials launched a review, tracked Mickelson down mid-round, confronted him with what they'd found, and had him leave before he finished playing. CBSSports.com. Now, the ending of that story has actually shifted a bit since it first broke, and that shift matters. The original reporting suggested Mickelson had effectively been removed, but Golf Channel later issued a correction, noting the account changed to reflect that Mickelson resigned his membership rather than being forced out on the spot. Either way, resignation or removal, the result is the same. The man who called the Farms his home course for decades doesn't play there anymore. And by multiple accounts, a display honoring his career that used to hang in the clubhouse has since come down. The club itself didn't name him publicly, but it didn't mince words either. In a statement, the Farms said that following a staff member's report of misconduct, it gave the employee ongoing support, ran a thorough independent investigation, and took decisive action, concluding that the individual in question is no longer a member. Multiple sources at the club confirmed to Golf Digest that the individual was Mickelson. CBSSports.com. Then things got complicated because his legal team pushed back hard. Tom Clare, a defamation attorney representing Mickelson, told Golf Digest that the allegations were contradicted by video evidence. That's a bold claim, the kind you'd only make if you were sure you could back it up. Except Golf Digest's own investigation found there were no cameras anywhere near where the alleged incident took place, and a farm spokesperson confirmed there's no footage showing the two of them together at all. When Golf Digest asked Mickelson's team to produce whatever video they were referring to, nothing was handed over. Clare also never specified which parts of the story he was disputing. Clare's public statement leaned into a broader warning, saying there was a lot of misinformation floating around and that Mickelson, while dealing with what's been described only as a private family health matter, had brought on defamation counsel and intended to hold accountable anyone spreading false claims. It's a serious threat on paper. But there's a wrinkle. Truth is a full defense against defamation. If the underlying reporting holds up, that threat doesn't have much legal teeth, and a separate spokesperson for Mickelson offered a much softer version of events, simply saying that any misunderstanding had been cleared up and that Phil remained focused on his family situation. So you've got two very different tones coming from the same camp, one side threatening lawsuits, the other side quietly calling it a misunderstanding. Law enforcement to get involved briefly. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office looked into the matter and said publicly that it hadn't found evidence to support an allegation of sexual assault, while also noting it would keep investigating if new evidence came forward. No charges were filed, but it's worth being careful here. No criminal charges doesn't mean no misconduct occurred. It just means the criminal bar, which is a very high one, wasn't met with what investigators had in front of them. The club, working with its own internal process and its own evidence, still reached a conclusion serious enough to end a decades-long membership. This isn't happening in a vacuum, either. Mickelson's public image has taken hits before. Back in 2016, he was named as a relief defendant in an insider trading case and agreed to pay back close to $1 million in profits without facing criminal charges himself. And professional gambler Billy Walters wrote in his own memoir that Mickelson had wagered enormous sums over the years, including one infamous day when he reportedly placed dozens of bets on baseball games and lost well over $100,000. None of that is new information to golf fans, but it does chip away at the idea that the clean-cut, fan-friendly Phil was the whole picture. And the timing could hardly be worse for him competitively. Mickelson stepped away from the tour back in February to deal with that family matter, missing the Masters and the PGA Championship. His exemption from his historic 2021 PGA Championship win has since expired. The USGA didn't extend him a special US Open invite, and he didn't attempt to qualify. He's still on the entry list for the Open Championship as a past champion, but whether he'll actually tee it up at Royal Birkdale is anyone's guess right now. What makes this whole situation land so hard isn't just the allegation itself, it's the contrast. This is a man who spent 30 years building a reputation as the most approachable star in golf, and in the span of one spring afternoon, that reputation ran headfirst into a story he can't fully control. His lawyers are threatening to sue over misinformation, but they haven't produced the evidence that would end the conversation for good. And meanwhile, at the club he called home for decades, his name has come off the wall. Whatever happens next, legally, competitively, or otherwise, 2026 will likely be remembered as the year Phil Mickelson's off-course story overtook everything he ever did on it.